Hi, everybody. We are going to do a Bible study today about Martha and Mary. So we are going to be in Luke chapter 10, verses 38 to 42. I know it's a short Bible study, but we are going to learn lots about it. So let's go for it. I will start with the first verse, 38. As Jesus and his disciples were on their way, he came to a village where a woman named Martha opened her home to him. So it's Jesus, and Jesus had 12 disciples, right? So 13 people, yes, walking by, and so they go village to village, minister to people. Jesus is healing people. He has deliverance as well, deliver people from the bad spirits. And now specific, he says, he came, who is he? Jesus came to a village where a woman named Martha, so we know her name, opened her home to him. Well, to him and everybody else, to his disciples. So she had a heart for the Lord to open her house to invite Jesus in and his disciples. So we learn about her that she had a big heart. Think about out of blue, out of nothing, 13 people pass by your house, and then you say, but she heard about him for sure. You just open the door and says like, please come on in. So she made the invitation, and I says it's hard. I says, when you think like about 13 people coming in all of the sudden, and we're not ready for that. At that point, she didn't think about it, It could be overwhelming and all that. She just opened her heart. In other words, it says she opened her home for him, but also she opened her heart to Jesus. All right. If you look in the spiritual realm, she opened her heart to Jesus and let him come in, and that was beautiful. Just that step she made. Okay. Let's go on verse 39. Martha, this is about Martha, right? She had a sister called Mary. Now, we'll learn a little bit about Mary. Mary, who sat at the Lord's feet listening to what Jesus was saying, what Jesus said. So it's like as soon as they invite them in, start preparation, of course they're coming, who knows for how long. They walked in those sandals, and dusty roads, not like now, they just get in your car and drive off. They had to walk, who knows how many miles, from village to village. And they probably need to rest a little bit and refresh themselves, eat. So as Martha, invite Jesus in, because it says in the previous one, it says she invite him in, which you can go spiritually as well, as we talked. So, but the preparation started immediately. So Martha went in the kitchen, start to see what she has, what she needs to prepare. I don't think she was a poor woman. She had a house first, and inviting 13 people, you must have a good income to invite people just like that at your table. You may have lots of things that you can prepare from and feed everybody. Plus it was her sister, so 15. And we learn about Lazarus, that these Martha and Mary were Lazarus' sisters. Lazarus was he came from the tomb. That is going to be a different lesson, but who died and was rose from the dead by Jesus, was resurrected by Jesus. So, all right. The sister Mary. So Martha goes. Let's picture this for a minute. Martha goes to see what she has in the kitchen. Needs to prepare everything, putting on the stove, and start cooking. And probably usually they cook, both of them, Mary and Martha. They cook together. And at this time, Martha, she invited me in, and then she started cooking. But Mary, on the other side, sat at the Lord's feet, listening to what he said, what Jesus said. She was so, I guess, excited to hear what, to have Jesus in the house there. And because since he was 12 years old, Jesus was talking even in the temple with high scholars, very educated people about the Bible. We didn't have the whole Bible back then. They have like the Old Testament, but Jesus was answering questions, and whenever it came from Jesus' mouth was stunning. People were marveled just to hear what he had to say. So as soon as you hear Jesus talking, you can't just go away from there. You just like pause and you want to listen more and more and more. It's how it was. And because Jesus had some times when he had to, and even like his disciples, like let people go somewhere and eat, because they were like just listening. People would not go away. His teaching was amazing, and that's why Mary, she was at Jesus' feet, listening. And probably you and me would do the same thing if Jesus will come in person here, and you want to hear him talking. You just don't want to go away. It has that the Spirit of the Lord. When you feel it around, you just want to go away. You just want to stay there. So it's what Mary experienced. It's like feel heaven on earth. You feel it right there in the house, and you just want to miss it. So she was where she was, at the Lord's feet. I guess that's the best place to be, at his feet, listening. Wow. Alrighty, let's move on. Let's see next. Verse 40, but Martha was distracted by all the preparation that had to be made. All right. What it says, Martha was distracted. So she couldn't listen what Jesus had to say, because she was distracted. I'll say, we gotta do bread first. We gotta put this. I gotta do this, I gotta do that. Do we have fish? Do we have honey? Do we have, or like send somebody to buy bread? It is a lot. So she was not able to listen what Jesus had to say. She was distracted with the preparation to be made. So she came to Jesus. They say she came to him and asked. So she came to Jesus and asked Jesus a question. It's more like, I'm telling on you, Mary, you see what you're doing, you're just standing there, do nothing. I'm telling on you now, I'm telling to Jesus. And so Martha said, Lord, don't you care that my sister has left me to do the work by myself? Tell her to help me. Okay. So she's complaining about her sister. Her sister Mary is at Jesus' feet. But Martha, she is being distracted, this, and want to serve everybody, want to make sure everybody eats and have everything what they need. And she is complaining about her sister. And you know what? Sometimes we do the same thing. It's been like years ago when my kids were much younger, little ones, and I had 2 jobs, and it was difficult. I was overwhelmed. I'm not sure if I should say distracted, but I would say I was overwhelmed with these little ones, both in diapers, and I had a job. 2 jobs I had that time, and it was not easy at all. I can see Martha being overwhelmed, and every year I will ask God at the beginning of the year, where am I, Lord? Where am I, with you? Are you happy with me? I want to see how you see me. And one year when it was with the little kids, very young, and God was telling me I was like Martha. So I had to look back in the scripture and figure out what I was not doing right, because Martha, yes, because you have to cook, clean after the kids, prepare food, go to work, come back. It's just like non-stop. It's just like a machine, like going. Not be able to just stop for a minute and I'll say breathe, but maybe think about it, pray, and of course after that start complaining. The kids are not doing this. They are like, it's hard. Is this, it's like I got overwhelmed. I got start complaining like Martha did, and what she said, Lord, don't you care that my sister has left me to do the work by myself? I wish I would have more help then, but I didn't. And sometimes to do everything, pretty much most of the things by myself, and God says you're like Martha in that story. And I had to pause for a minute. Why am I like Martha in the story in the Bible? It's a real story, it happened. And what am I doing right here? And sometimes you have to ask people to help, to give you a hand, which is nothing wrong with that. And it's what she asked, like, tell my sister Mary to help me, which you see in the last sentence there, and it with exclamation mark. Let's see what Jesus responds. It's in 41. Martha, Martha, the Lord answered, you are worried and upset about many things. Wow. Why? Because Jesus saw inside the heart. He sees inside. He's like reading through, inside you. It's how God does. He reads inside you. You don't know even have the words come into your mouth, and he already knows it. He knows what you try to say. He knows everything. You're like an open book. I know that's an expression, but you're like an open book. So when Jesus looked into her heart, into her, like an open book open to him, what told her? You are worried and upset about many things. She will do like, okay, gotta do this, gotta do that, this. And then she gets overwhelmed. And so he knows, God knows that worry, upset, she was worried and upset for many things. Not just for that, not for this incident. Jesus is talking in general here. The incident as well, but in general, in her life, he is telling about her life that Martha, you're worried and upset about many things, not just one thing or two, many things, and not just about this visitation and your sister. You're just worried about other things as well. You're always worried. You're always worried and upset about things. In general. And now, it's in verse 42, it actually gives her the answer what to do. But few things are needed. You're upset for too many things, but just few things are needed to be worried, not for so many. You should worry for like little things here and there, but not about many things. Now it says, or indeed, only one. Okay, let's pause there. All right. So reveals to her that she's very upset for many things in general. But you shouldn't worry about so many things. You should be worried about maybe few things, maybe that, in general, needs to be taken care of. And he says, or indeed, only one. All right, I like this part. I love this part, the way he puts it on. In other words, he's telling Martha, you are worried and upset for many things. But you shouldn't worry, even though you worry even for few things, like today, for example, for the preparation for the food that you're left alone, you should worry about only one thing. And what is that? We already know it, Jesus. If you worry about Jesus, there's one thing to worry. It's not about preparation of food here. It's about daily routine, daily going with God. If you just worry about one thing, how am I serve Jesus today? How am I get in contact with Jesus today? How am I serving the Lord? How am I going to make the Lord happy? How am I going to connect with the Lord? How am I praising God? Which praising song should I choose? How am I going to get much closer, much deeper into intimacy with God? It's what Jesus meant. Or indeed, only one thing is needed to be worried. Leave the other ones alone. If you take care of one thing, the other ones get solved immediately. And when God opened my eyes into this scripture about Martha, I was worried, oh, wow, my kids, they don't have shoes. My kids are growing. They need this. I gotta do that. And instead of just pause for a minute, relax, have I would say half an hour with God in His presence, if not 15 minutes of your time per day, is that too much? Probably God is saying, is that too much to ask? Maybe 15 minutes of your time that you're running your head off back and forth for whole day long. 15 minutes from your time, is that too much to ask? Just stay in my presence, worship, read the Bible, and connect with me for 15 minutes. And after that, you'll be so energized. You'll be like, your soul will be like so happy. You can do those in matter of no time. But when you're worried, upset, you cannot even think what you want, what you need, what you have to do. You forget things. You just get more upset and more upset. But I would say a little bit spending time with God per day will change everything. And that's what is teaching Martha here. And that verse, it taught me along the way, I have to pause everything now, this moment. Take a deep breath. And sometimes I was like, what would Jesus do in some instances? But take a deep breath and recite a psalm, worship, like you gotta memorize some worship songs, because you may not have the Bible all the way with you whenever you are, and recite a psalm or songs and sing it, and start singing and thinking about God, and disconnect yourself from everything else. It's working, guys. It's working. It worked for me, and it's worked in the past years. And I probably stay much because I'm getting distracted when my thoughts are I'm getting distracted in my thoughts when I'm trying to worship God or talk to God, and just try to connect with God. 50 minutes, half an hour, 1 hour, as long as, if you have more time, do it more. But my thoughts are coming my way. Oh, I should just stand up and do that. Oh yeah, I should go. Actually, I need to feed a dog. Oh, actually, I should go and probably let the dog out. Or maybe I should do this. Or maybe I should go to the mail and get my mail out. It's like these thoughts are kind of, sometimes torturing you. Leave them alone. Try to push everything away. No, this is my time with God. And nobody will take it away. And let's go to the next step. Mary has chosen what Jesus tells Martha. In verse 42, the last sentence, Mary has chosen what is better, and it will not be taken away from her. Why? Because Mary was at Jesus' feet, and where we're supposed to be as we go in the journey and our journey with God. We're supposed to spend time at Jesus' feet. If you cannot do it every day, but it says like every day, well, see how better your day turns if you do it. You just try. But now, who do you want to be? Do you want to be Martha or you want to be Mary? Definitely after that, after Mary, she listened to Jesus, what he had to say first. Then she was energized. She was filled up with the Holy Spirit. Went to help, doing the kitchen, and whenever, it was different. And would not be upset, not worry, probably singing, everything changes after you spend time with Jesus. And that's why I say Mary has chosen what is better, and it will not be taken away from her. Wow. So I hope we learned something today. What do you think? So first, as Martha opened her door to Jesus and let him walk in, that was a big step. She needed Jesus desperately the one who needed more Jesus was Martha. I assume she was much older than Mary, but looks like Mary, she was wise, because she says, I'm standing here, I'm not going. I want to hear. I heard about this man for so long. He's the Son of God. I just want to hear what he has to say. And of course, that penetrates inside your soul, and leaves you. You stay with those words forever. Martha, on the other side, she was not able to get to sit down to enjoy what Jesus had to say, because she was worried. And not just that, worry from previously, that her life was in worry and upset and talking about people and telling on people. But God, it doesn't tell us not to serve others, because we have we serve others, we help others. God in this story tells us that if we spend time with, I say even 50 minutes, probably 5 minutes may not be till you kick all those thoughts out from your mind. It may take a little bit longer. I say maybe at least 50 minutes per day, if you have the time, and pray for the day, and put your day in God's hands every day, every morning. Your day will change from the way it could be. It changes. I say even your spiritual, like your spirit inside you, it's at a different level. It jumps up. You feel that you just want to sing, and you have so much joy into your heart, and that joy is contagious whenever you go after that. It was like you are singing, maybe sometimes in your thoughts you're singing the praise God, and your day goes very well. So we gotta choose what Mary chose. Stay at the feet of Jesus. We do help others. At least we stay at least 15 minutes, or as long as you can, and we do help to help others. We do need to help others, feed them. It will be Jesus coming with his disciples. I will invite them in a heartbeat. I don't care about preparation. Like this time is these days, I can do a order out. They come into your door. They call it DoorDash now. Uber Eats, whenever they call it. You don't even have to worry about those things of preparation and all that. Just order just something, bring it in, and till the food arrives, you stay at the feet of Jesus. Sounds like a plan? Yes, I say I will do that in a heartbeat. I will not miss a minute to fly away from not being at the feet of Jesus. But I says that I had to come on time. I had to go through a process to get that, to know that actually that needs to be first, and then the rest, it comes easy. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this Bible study as much as I enjoy it. Till next time, I say goodbye. Goodbye now.